Hey YouTube, it's a trim tab after a long break, a mini trim tab, and this is the new Aerostar. Me and my wife are gonna go take this out on vacation and actually we're leaving tomorrow with this little guy. And I thought I'd kind of just give a little tour around the airplane and show you guys what I ended up with after the tornado. I don't know if you can see it back there. That's the old 85 Tango Romeo in the back of the hangar. And this is the new replacement plane, I guess. So I put engines on it and did the MT propellers, the new scimitar props. And these things are awesome. They're super quiet at 2,000 RPM. The instructor that I flew with for my recurrent training said it's the quietest Aerostar he's ever flown. And I think he's been flying Aerostars for 20 plus years. And this is the panel that I put in it. Did dual Garmin TXI screens, 750, 650 TXI, and GI 275. And then I had the interior redone in it by Whip Air up in Minneapolis, Minnesota. And you can kind of see I've just got the 4 seats in it. This one has air conditioning, which is a total game changer, and it's got a auxiliary fuel tank. So it holds 205 gallons, potentially 220 gallons if you do some fuel tricks. But yeah, this is a super nice plane. It was in New Mexico, Arizona most of its life, and paint's pretty good on it. I don't think I'll paint it. I think I'm kind of done modifying it. Hey bud, don't touch that. That antenna actually goes to nothing. It used to be like a third comm or something. But this has with the aux fuel tank, you get another 44 gallons of usable fuel, but you lose a good amount of your baggage. So the baggage, normally it would go to about here, but now you have a fuel tank there, so you kind of lose some room. I'm gonna get some ground power hooked up and I'll show you guys the panel on this thing. It doesn't have the 5.5 PSI cabin or the 6850 gross weight increase kit. We've done most of the mods for the gross weight increase. I had the flight shop put on these main gear doubler plates. They call them like horseshoe doublers that go around the main gear. I know some guys will be like, oh, they didn't use Hilocks. But these rivets that go into the machined rib are steel rivets, which is what the factory used. So they are installed correctly. They just didn't use Hilocks. Well, yeah, anyways, I'm gonna put ground power on and I'll start the camera again. Okay, we got ground power hooked up in this bad boy. The flight shop put in these LED post lights, and they are sweet. They're on kind of the old round gauges. But I actually have GPS in my hangar here. We've got GPS repeaters. But the EIS is on the, you can put it on either screen, or you can go full screen here and then have EIS stuff over here. We got rid of the prop sync. It's not really needed anymore because you have this little pinwheel and you can set the prop RPM, and it actually is really easy to do. It works good too. Yeah, this is a Century 4 autopilot, and you do get like the flight director on the screen and everything, but to turn the flight director off, you actually have to turn the autopilot off, and then the flight director goes away. It's not ideal, but when I did the panel, this blanking plate right here, this is where I'll put the STEC 3100, or if Garmin ever gets the GFC 600 certified for the Aerostar, then I'll put a GFC 600 here. I'm gonna make the decision probably in the next year, maybe 18 months on the autopilot thing. I'm kind of holding out for the Garmin autopilot because I'm all Garmin and I've got the EIS, so that then I can put in the if they do the rudder bias. This one also has spoilers on it, so I have a spoiler switch here that's momentary, or I can activate the spoilers up here. So if I hold the momentary switch on the yoke, the spoilers deploy, as soon as I let go of the switch, then they retract. You can kind of see one spoiler up over there. I'll release the switch, and then they retract back down just with some springs. So that's, yeah, I mean, this is the inside of the Aerostar, and looking forward to taking it on a trip. I think, let's see. So since I've gotten this thing done, logs, aircraft log, I've put 35 hours on it total in the last month. So I've been flying it quite a bit. Yeah, I mean, I really don't know what else to show you guys. It's a sweet airplane. Air conditioning is amazing. Huey loves riding in it. Don't you, bud? Yeah, you like the Aerostar? He was riding an 8.5 Tango Romeo when he was 2 weeks old. And yeah, he loves it. Oh, we put a push-to-talk switch up here on the glare shield, so I can, it's kind of like the Airbus style. Well, it's transmitting on COM2 right now. But this thing is super nice. When I'm cruising along, I don't have to sit here and mess with the yoke. I can just have my hand rested up here and hit the push-to-talk that way. Trying to think of other cool stuff that we did. When we did the avionics, we put in the Garmin GDL60, and the GDL60 makes it so that I never have to update my GPS databases anymore. Like, I don't have a flight stream 510 in this one like I did in my old one. I just show up to the plane, and when new databases come out, it automatically uploads them to everything. On the G500, I paid for the synthetic vision unlock, and then I also paid for the chart unlock. I guess there's no charts here at 6NE3, but so I get the approach plates on the on the PFD. Well, yeah, anyways, I'm gonna try and film some of the flight tomorrow, and I'll show you guys the power settings and everything that I've been running in this thing. Yeah, that's Dad's oxygen mask. The power settings that I run in it, and kind of the speeds that you get. I think it's just as efficient as the 601P if you run 2000 RPM. I put this, I think it's called the GCU 485 PFD controller, so I can set my heading and altitude bugs. I can set my barometer. If I push in, it goes to standard 2992, which is super nice because basically I can run the whole PFD with this little switch panel down here instead of having to reach up and touch the screen all the time. Yeah, anyways, looking forward to a good trip tomorrow. We're going to go to Sedona, and then I think we're going to go to Yosemite via Mariposa, California. And we'll be in each place for a couple days, and if the weather's bad in Nebraska, we might extend our trip in California a couple more days. We'll see how it goes. But man, flying with kids is tough because all of the things that they want to touch are like the red buttons, and like anything that's like colored is what he wants to touch. And that's all the stuff that I don't want him to touch. Yeah, that's the flaps. And yeah, so kind of been figuring that out. He sits in his little car seat in the back, and then if it's nice in cruise flight, we'll let him get out and he can kind of walk around in here, which is super nice. Or if you need to change a diaper, you can do it on the floor back there because you got a bunch of room. Well, you want to hold the camera, bud? So we had a kid. So since my last videos, we had Huey, and I've been super busy on the Skyraider 2 program with the Air Force. And I'm going to show you guys, I don't know if I ever have, I'm going to get Huey out of here and then I'll show you guys the Skyraider. Okay, this is the Skyraider. It's a 802U. And I've been working with developmental and operational tests for AFSOC and the Air Force. And I've got to do some work with Garmin test pilots here next month. But this has been like consuming all of my time as teaching in this aircraft. It's just turned into a lot. I've got 8.5 Tango Romeo back here. This is what's left of it. We parted it out. I bought it back from my insurance company, and it's just been kind of getting cannibalized. I thought maybe I would turn this into a tree house for Huey at some point in time. But yeah, if you ever wondered the structure of an Aerostar, Kind of interesting to disassemble one of these. I did the recovery myself from Epley and rented a crane and pulled the wings off of it and then loaded it all up, brought it up to my airport, and then yeah, just kind of been parting it out. It flipped over in the tornado, and luckily it was insured for plenty, and it all worked out, and we got another nice Aerostar. So, but yeah, it's kind of sad to see this thing all stripped down. I still have, you know, some parts. These windows are all fairly new, and I've been thinking about maybe removing the windows from it and seeing if you can salvage the windows or not. Probably not. The only thing I've got left to do on Delta Sierra is I bought a new windshield from Aerostar for it, and I'm gonna have my maintenance shop put the new windshield in this next annual. Oh, one thing that I thought was kind of cool when we were taking this thing apart, one of my employees went a little bit wild with the chop saw when we were taking the wings off. I mean, we unbolted them, but then he started cutting stuff, which is whatever. But you have these flapper valves. This is where the pressurization bleed air comes in. And so if this left engine quit and it's not blowing air in anymore, this flapper valve shuts, and then your cabin won't depressurize because you have check valves on the bleed air on both sides, which I thought was kind of neat. So if you didn't close your bleed valve for like the left or right engine, whichever one quits, those check valves will actually keep it from depressurizing without closing the bleed valve. You can see kind of how thick the windshield on an Aerostar is. I'd say it's maybe a 1/4 inch, 3/8 of an inch. You can see kind of there how thick it is, but yeah, I don't know. If someone needs a hot plate, I've got a hot plate. I've got the whole kit with the switch and timer and thermostat and everything. I've got like seats. I don't know. I've got a bunch of parts from this thing still. So if anyone ever needs Aerostar parts, let me know. But yeah, that's kind of my update. And we'll get some footage in flight tomorrow. It should be pretty good weather. I think we're gonna have a pretty good headwind to Sedona. That's our first stop. And with the aux tank in this thing, I think I'm actually gonna be able to make it in one shot, even with a 25 knot headwind, because I can put 205 gallons of fuel in it. And if I run 30 inches, 2,000 RPM, it seems like I'm burning around 34, 35 gallons an hour. Maybe be a 4.5 hour flight, but you know, I think it's close to 800 nautical miles with the headwind. That's pretty good. And then maybe coming back from Mariposa, we might be able to make it back in one shot too. And that's almost 1,200 nautical miles, but I should have a tailwind going east. Anyways, that's my update. I need to keep track of the little guy, and hopefully more videos to come.